After 9 years, we finally have the Zootopia sequel, and the furries are going crazy for it. I can only imagine what that room must have smelled like. And if you think that is bad, just wait until those Rule 34 artists come through. And how do I know all this? Because I am chronically online. Mind your business. So Zootopia 2 is the long-awaited sequel to the insanely popular and the absolute masterpiece that was the 2016 Zootopia. The film is directed by Jared Bush and Byron Howard, and it stars Jason Bateman, Jennifer Goodwin, Ke-Huy Quan, Andy Samberg, Idris Elba, and Patrick Warburton. Detective Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde find themselves on the twisting trail of a mysterious reptile who turns the mammal metropolis of Zootopia upside down. Testing their growing partnership like never before, they go undercover in new parts of town to crack the case. When I first saw Zootopia 1 back in 2016, I was blown away. To this very day, not only is it one of my personal favorite Disney films, but it's one of my personal favorite films of all time. So when I heard Zootopia 2 was happening, I was beyond excited. But then I remembered, this is Disney. But regardless of past projects, I was still hopeful that Zootopia 2 would be an absolute banger. And I am beyond stoked to announce that Zootopia 2 is beyond an absolute banger. This film is just as good, if not better, than the first film. In my opinion, they really outdid themselves with this story. The story in Zootopia 2 is beautiful and heartwarming, but at the same time, heartbreaking and quite tragic, actually. The emotional moments from the first film are still very present in this sequel. In fact, I would argue the sequel actually amplifies it. I was invested into the emotional arcs of our characters more this time around. Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde are still a great duo. I love them just as much in here as I did in the first film. The new characters are well written, they are compelling. One thing about these Zootopia movies is that they really know how to make a good antagonist. In fact, the antagonists are so well written that there is a plot twist that comes in near the end of the second act. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of didn't see it coming. I feel like I probably should have saw it coming, but I didn't. But me not seeing that plot twist coming just made it even more impactful for me. This may be a hot take, but I think Zootopia 2 has a better story than Zootopia 1. And that is not to say Zootopia 1 did not have a good story. That story still holds up to this very day. But Zootopia 2 takes the story from the first film and just expands it even more. Now we are really diving deep into the rabbit hole, no pun intended. The first film was about bias and prejudiceness that people have against certain groups of other people, or in this case, animals. And then you have Zootopia 2, which flat out talks about colonization, displacement, and how those evil individuals with power try to rewrite history. I wonder who they're talking about. Surely this has no relevance to American history, right? And this film did not hold back on that. I am glad they honed that in, because colonization and capitalism are two very, very scary things. But all in all, I thought this story was brilliant and very well written. If they keep this quality of writing up, Zootopia 3 will be a banger. Guys, look at the numbers. Look, Zootopia 3 is gonna happen. It's inevitable at this point. When it comes to a lot of these Disney movies, especially within the past decade or so, whether you like the story or not in those movies, you gotta admit, the animation has always been on point. And yes, even Turning Red, which I don't know why that animated film gets a lot of crap. I mean, it is what it is. I liked it. I like the animation. That's just me. But the film overall had great lighting, great shadow effects, astonishing colors, and very, very carefully crafted attention to detail. This is peak animation. I love how every year the budget in these Disney animated movies gets better and better. Even films that came out in 2010 still hold up to this day. But even now in 2025, the animation will still hold up in the future years to come. And as you would expect, the voice acting as a whole is incredible. Everyone delivered to the fullest. No complaints here. And let me just say this movie is beyond hilarious. Zootopia 1 had a lot of good jokes and good humor, but in this film, the humor is like on the same level, if not better. There were definitely jokes that me and a few other adults laughed at that the kids didn't understand. And good, they don't need to know. And great pacing all in all as a whole. The film does not waste time with its story. It gets you reeled in. And even during the slow moments where we are taking time to expand more upon Judy and Nick Wilde's relationship, it actually further pushes the narrative and gives the audience closure into where they are, not only as characters, but as partners in the workforce. And I thought it was done beautifully. In fact, it made me appreciate the characters way more this time around. But in the end, guys, Zootopia 2 was an incredible sequel and an even more incredible film. I know Disney Animation has kind of been in a weird state for like the past, 5 years or so, but listen, when they lock in, they will drop a banger. And just like Inside Out 2, Zootopia 2 is one of their best projects ever. So plugging Zootopia 2. Into the rank system, I am placing this one into the pinnacle zone. But yeah, y'all, that is pretty much my review for Zootopia 2. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys thought about the film. Did you love it? Did you hate it? When do you think we will get Zootopia 3? Honest to God, I might be a father by the time that movie comes out. That is insane. At this point, guys, we might get Zootopia 3 before GTA 6. I do not believe that release date. But whatever you thought, let me know down in the comment section below. And as always, guys, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you all in the next one.